folks, Sean Brodrick. I'm here in West Palm Beach, Florida, but I'm speaking to a guy who's doing a lot of mining work down in Mexico, Keith Neumeyer. He's the founder, president, and CEO of First Majestic Silver, which is the mining company that I've been following for a long time. I'm a shareholder, actually, but I've been to visit their projects. I know they know how to do things extraordinarily well. They have projects all over Mexico, and they've just added to their portfolio. There's a lot of good stuff going on with this company that I think is mispriced by the market. Here to tell you his story himself is Keith. Keith, could you please speak to my viewers?
Nice seeing you again, Sean, and thanks for this opportunity. Welcome, everyone. The company, as Sean says, we're doing another acquisition, and then during these times, it's very, very common that the market tends to sell off the buyer and buy the target, and often the hedge funds will take excessive short positions, and the stock can be under quite a lot of pressure, which we're witnessing. It's an unfortunate thing, and then sometimes people have difficult understanding why these kinds of events occur, but it's quite standard. It happens regularly. I think in the 15 years history of First Majestic, I think every time we bought another company, I think the same thing has occurred. Last time when we took out Silvercrest back at the end of 2015, the stock was down 24% over the 3-month period it took to close that transaction. So, we're seeing a similar kind of move now, and I'm sure once the transaction closes in mid-April, I'm sure the stock will settle down and likely re-rate itself over a period of time, and it's just something we have to be patient and just kind of watch, I suppose.
Well, I think one thing that maybe might have happened is that we know that Primero, which has the big San Dimas Mine, they had this large streaming agreement with Silver Wheaton that really was very hard to work. And I think the market might have thought, well, you guys just bought that. Now you're stuck with that silver streaming agreement that is really not going to be workable. But right. You guys fixed that, right?
Yeah, and then you could very well be right, Sean, on that. And definitely Primero came to us because obviously of the stress the company was in. The company's carrying a lot of debt, and the mine has been challenged as a result of lack of investment, and the stream has been quite cumbersome for the mine, for the company, and we've been able to come in and renegotiate the stream, and we're paying off all of Primero's debt, and we're basically cleaning up the company, and then once the acquisition closes, we can then start reinvesting capital in the operation, and I'm sure once the market sees the difference between how San Dimas looks under First Majestic umbrella, with the new stream, I'm sure the shareholders and investors will get quite excited about it.
Great. Well, actually, that's one thing your company really does, is it finds those projects that are distressed, takes them over, and reworks them, really salvages them, and just adds them to your portfolio in a way that's really accretive. And so even though they have lots of debt at San Dimas, you have lots of cash, you can work things out there again, and that should really, once it's all in place, that should really throw off a lot of cash flow, shouldn't it?
Oh, we expect it will, and this is something we've done before. This is we built this business. This is our 15th year now in business, and we've done acquisitions to build this company, and every acquisition we've done is buying a distressed asset, and we've been able to go in and make the improvements necessary. With our strong balance sheet and with our skill set, we can do these necessary changes to turn these operations around, and we're going to do the same thing at San Dimas as we've done in the past.
Okay, I think your stock is cheap. Other people who actually have been writing to me about this have thought it was cheap. They said, when is the company going to purchase its own shares? But you're already doing that, aren't you?
We are. We started doing our share buyback in January, when the stock started to come under some pressure as a result of the acquisition. We bought about 250,000 shares in this last month or so. We'll continually buy stock but over the next couple of months as well. I think it's just something that we should be doing. We do have a big treasury, and we're not putting a huge amount of capital at work, but I think we need to be in there and picking up stock at these ridiculously low prices.
Okay, so I know you have new projects in the pipeline. You have new tech that you're now going to put to work at your projects to get more silver out of every ounce of rock, and you have a lot of good things really going on. What do you think people should look forward to as the highlights for, say, this year going forward?
Well, you know, the company 2016, 2017 were really kind of transition years for First Majestic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we went through a very difficult period, not just us, of course, but I mean the entire mining sector went through a difficult period in 2014, 2015, battling low metal prices and, you know, trying to, you know, get our costs down and turn a profit. And it was a challenge, and we did obviously, you know, had success in lowering our costs. We finally started turning a profit again at the end of 2015, and the stock, you know, performed quite nicely in 2016, and we've now been able to start reinvesting capital, and that's a huge difference from, you know, a few years ago when we couldn't afford to invest any money in keeping our assets growing. So now we spent about $81 million in 2017, and this year we're spending over $100 million in investment, and these investments are going to have a direct impact on throughputs and production. We actually saw Q4 2017 actually uptick a little bit in our production for the first time in several quarters. So it's I think the worst is behind us, and you know, we're projecting 2018 is going to have 15% higher silver production compared to 2017. So we're pretty excited.
And I've seen before you add in San Dimas. That's great. Well,
exactly right.
Since you brought up the fact that all the mining companies are being crushed by the low price of silver, let me ask you this, because people love to hear from you about this. What do you think about the price of silver? Where do you think it's going, say, in the next year or so?
Yeah, well, it's tough, right? Because, you know, I'm one of the, you know, biggest silver bulls out there, and you know, being wrong for 3 consecutive years, I tell you, it's not easy. But you know, I've been saying lately to people who care to listen, you know, you can't mine a Bitcoin without silver. You know, you can't drive your Tesla car without silver. You're not going to be using your iPhone or your iPad or your computer without silver. So, you know, to go green as a human race, you know, we need silver. It's a critical metal in all components that we're using, and to accomplish all the things that we want to accomplish. And it's not showing up in the headlines, but it will. And the supply-demand fundamentals of the metal are extremely good. You know, we're producing as an industry about 800 million ounces of silver globally, and we're consuming over 1 billion ounces globally. So, you know, how do you have that kind of deficit not show up in price eventually? And I think it will over the next short while. I think it will happen sooner rather than later. You know, we're, you know, as I said earlier today, you know, we're as an industry mining 9 to 1. So for every 1 ounce of gold, you know, we're mining 9 ounces of silver, and yet we're trading at 81. So that's pretty crazy as far as I'm concerned.
Which means that it would take 80 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. So you can see the imbalance there. And also some points you brought up earlier is that the world mined 850 million ounces of silver in 2015, 800 million ounces in 2016. Right. We don't have the numbers for 2017 yet, but we've been hearing from mines in the industry that the squeeze is on. So you put those things together, and it just looks like we could look at a good old-fashioned supply-demand squeeze. We just don't know when that's actually going to happen. The symbol for First Majestic is AG, so just remember that, folks. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we go? No,
I think we pretty well hit all the points, but you know, I think that the market is underestimating the importance of the San Dimas acquisition, and I think once, you know, we get it under our belt over the next couple of quarters, people will wake up to it, and I think people will start getting excited.
Great. So, new projects, new tech, same great team that's done this before. They have done it over and over again. Take the distressed assets and just turn them into money-making machines. And so things are really rolling along. They've had a rough patch, but every mining company I know has. It's all on the price of silver, and the supply-demand fundamentals are actually coming together on that. So I think we'll see good things from this company. Stay tuned. We'll have more on it. Thanks very much for speaking to my subscribers. You folks stay tuned.
Thanks, Sean.